Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode number 25 of Lead to Greatness, where we believe in helping others reach their greatest potential, and together we can change the world. Today on Lead to Greatness, today we will be discussing the lessons I've learned in the year 2020. This is Cedric Francis, and you're listening to Lead to Greatness. Man, I have to be honest with you. I mean, to this year, 2020 has been a very challenging time for all of us. When I first launched Lead to Greatness LLC back in February, I had everything planned out. I had all the I's dotted. I had all the T's crossed. I had everything in order. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I knew exactly what move I was going to make. And this month, I had everything lined up. And exactly 1 month later, talking about a perfect storm, in March, COVID-19 happened, and everything was shut down. Everything was shifted. I mean, it really it wrecked all of us because no one. It doesn't matter what leader, from the president to the resident, no one knew what to do. This was new for all of us. This is something that we never seen before in our lifetime, and we really didn't know how to react to it. So everyone, whether you're a leader or employee or father or mother, clergy, or whatever area of your life, we were all basically fumbling around trying to figure this thing out. Really, trying to figure out from where. There was no books on COVID-19. It didn't matter. There was nothing to prepare us for what happened on this year. Starting a business um, during COVID 19 has been very challenging. And on today, I want to deal with five lessons I've learned in 2020. So the first C is commitment. That there is a quote that I like, and it constantly reminds me. It says, "Motivation gets you started, but commitment keep you going." You must be committed, being dedicated to the cause. I think one thing, when we're doing anything, whether it's your business, whether it's a job, or whether it's your career or your family, or the things we do and why we do, we must understand the why and the reason we doing what we're doing. Because when obstacles happen in our life, the why is the only thing that's going to keep you going. We can't tie ourselves to the what. We have to tie ourselves to the why. Why is very important. So, what I want you to do is know your why. If you don't know your why, begin to learn your why. Being committed, no matter what happens in my life, I have to commit to what I say I'm going to do, even when I don't feel like it. There's been time when I have to be honest with you and tell you, what, there's times I was tired and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to push the business. I didn't want to pick up a pen. I didn't want to do any strategies or anything. All I wanted to do is just, I have to be honest. I'm a human being. We all human. Those times, all you want to do is just sit up and watch TV, and just relax, but we have to be committed to the things that we said we're going to do. Remain committed to what you're doing, and in due season, you will reap if you faint not. Listen to me. By all means, I'm not telling you if there's no fruit on the tree, don't go and try to find a new tree. That's not what I'm saying at all. There is a time, and there's a season when what we realize, okay, this not working. I need to do something else. But what I don't want you to do is rob yourself from the opportunity that's on the other side of the door. Make sure you're committed, and make sure you know for a fact that there's no fruit in this room before you quit. Trials is going to come, storms is going to come, and when it happens, commitment is the only thing that's going to keep us going. It's the gasoline in the tank that's going to keep you going. So number one is commitment. The second C is creativity. My wife and I, we did painting with a twist. And painting with a twist, they put up this picture and this canvas, And every last one of us in the room has to paint from the same picture. But what's so awesome and interesting about it is everyone, I mean, you have about 20 people in the room. Every last one of us, our creativity is totally different. We're looking at the same picture, but when we put our hands to the canvas, the picture looks slightly different. I mean, they all kind of similarities in the colors, but there's still a different picture. Creativity. Those same creative skills, it's the skills we have to use even in our business, the creativity that we have to use in our families. You know, even in spite of what's going on, this pandemic in the world that we're living in right now, you have the power to be creative. Be creative. Creativity is knowing that there's a solution for the problem. And what's so beautiful about creativity, that's multiple solutions to solve the problem. You may solve it one way, I may solve it another way, and we both solve the problem. That's what's so awesome. That's what I love about creativity. But the thing is knowing. You have to know that there is a solution for the problem. There's a solution for the problem. Whether it's a business, whether there's a business idea, what problem are you solving? How can I be creative? What can I do? Not doing something unique or something special, but what can I do to create a solution for the problem? Most people that know me know I really love the game of chess. Matter of fact, I have a chess shirt on right now, the king piece. And one thing I love about chess is a game of endless opportunities. Based on the move of my opponent, it always changes my move. I've been playing chess and I've played thousands of games and I never can recall past maybe the opening moves, maybe the first three or four moves. I never can recall a moment when I'm constantly playing the same chess game over and over again. The chess game is always different. It's always unique. It's always something different about the game, and it really teaches me to be creative. So creativity is one of the things that I've learned because in this season I have to be very creative. That was ways originally. The plan was to do it one way, but because of what happened, I can't just sit home and just complain and just say, you know what, I can't wait till things get back to normal. Because here we about 6 months into this thing, and it's starting to look like this may, I mean, I'm not being pessimistic or anything, but this may just be our normal. This may be our new normal. So the thing about it, you can't stop and say, I'm going to wait till this thing is over. No, you have to be creative in the midst of it because there is a solution somewhere, but you have to search. You have to search. Do your due diligence and search for the solution for the problem. You are a problem solver. You can do it. It's like playing chess. Make the best move you can. And if you make a bad move, so what? I still have plenty more moves to go. Why? Because of the creativity. I can do anything. All it takes is one move to get my opponent in checkmate. One move. You're one move from getting your opponent in checkmate. So number two, creativity. The third C is courageous. Courageous is when you are unable to be deterred in difficult and challenging situations. Those moments that happens in your life when you don't back down. Those moments when you don't back down, even when things get hard, you don't stop. You don't quit. Even when you can't see your way, you keep on moving. Even when you see the struggle, instead of running from it, you run to it. When there's obstacles in your way, instead of moving from it, instead of complaining about it, instead of talking about what you don't have, when you're courageous, you focus on what you do have and you attack it with everything you have. When you're courageous, you're not waiting on somebody else to come and help you do it. If help comes, man, the more the merrier. When you're courageous, you're saying, if I got to do it by myself, I'm going to get it done. If I got to make it happen by myself, I'm going to make it happen. That was some decisions I had to make during pandemic. Even when my money was on the line, making the decision anyway. That's courageous. That's courageous. Courageous don't mean you don't feel the fear because, hey, man, we're human beings. We're going to fear. Matter of fact, it's always good to feel the fear because if you're not getting any fear in your life, that means you're living in your comfort zone. So oftentimes we have to get outside our comfort zone, feel the fear. I mean, I'm talking take it in, breathe it, feel the fear, and do it anyway. Courageous. Be strong and courageous. I'm telling you, you can do it. So, number three is courageous. The fourth C is consistent. And in everything we do, we have to be consistent, acting and doing in the same way over and over and over again. I'm talking about consistency and getting things done. I remember early on, I believe it was around podcast number 13. My wife and I had a recording in the evening, but man, woke up in the morning and my wife, man, she couldn't hardly walk. Equilibrium was off. I mean, she was, man, it really, I was trying to be as calm as I can. You know, my military training kicked in, but man, I didn't know what was going on. And called 911 and she was rushed to the hospital. After just being released from the hospital, I'm up recording by myself, something we were supposed to do together, but I understood the power of being consistent. You know, you have to go no matter what. You have to always be ready. I remember when I was early on there was this guy I used to work with. Um we used to ask him like, "Hey man, you ready?" And he used to say this saying, he said, "Man, I stay ready to keep from getting ready." And man, those words never left me. Say, "Stay ready to keep from getting ready." And one thing in our life, when things happen, I mean, things come up, things happen, but if you always prepared, or if you prepare yourself, you can say the same thing. I stay ready to keep from getting ready. So I just want to tell you, to just stay ready. I mean, you have to be consistent. Consistency. It's like putting one brick down at a time, but you're putting it down and you're building it. And you're putting it down and you're building and you're building and you're building and you're building. And eventually, man, you're going to look back and you're going to be in a place where you're like, how in the world did I get here? You got there because of what you built. So that's a question I want to ask you on today. In your life, in your business, in your career, and then whatever you're building, are you being consistent with it? Sometimes we have to put deadlines into place. You know what? I need to have this done by this time. Matter of fact, that's one of the greatest things. I'm an individual, man. I love deadlines. I love putting myself on the clock. Because I'll be honest, if I don't put myself on the clock, man, I probably won't get it done. I will procrastinate, procrastinate, procrastinate. But if I put a deadline on it, man, it's gonna get done. It's gonna get done. I'm one of those guys that love checking stuff off. But at the end, however you do it, be consistent with it. It doesn't matter where you are right now, but what matters is where you're going. And there's a lot in store for you, a lot in store for your life, but you have to start building now. Start building something. So the fourth thing is consistency. The fifth C is compassionate. I've learned that you have to be compassionate. Zig Ziglar said a quote that I love. He said, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." It's about caring caring about people' well being. I mean, whether you're a supervisor, manager on the job, whether you own your own business, man, when things happen, because life happen, man. People happen. I mean, you may have somebody on your team that lost a family member, somebody on your team that's sick. You would be surprised because of being compassion and showing that to them. Man, when they get back on their feet, you'll be surprised how hard they would go for you. You will be surprised the commitment they will have for you and your team. But man, if you show compassion to those employees and you get in their heart, you let them know that, man, I really care about you. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, they're gonna do whatever they have to do to make you look good. They don't want to see you fail. It's power and compassion. I'm talking genuine compassion. I'm not talking manipulation. I'm talking really loving people, really caring about people, being really caring about their families, really caring about their children. And sometimes it'd be nice to even ask them, hey, how is your wife? How is your family? How's everything going at home? Do you have everything you need? You'll be surprised how you make someone feel by just telling them and showing them that you care. Show compassion. So I'm going to do a recap. Number one is commitment. Number two is creativity. Number three is be courageous. Number four is consistent. Number five is compassionate. I really hope that the 5 C's was helpful to you. Maybe there's something that I didn't mention that you pulled from the last 25 episodes. Go ahead and put that in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Lead to Greatness if this is your first time. And this podcast was helpful to you, leave a big thumbs up. And also, I want you to check out our Marriage Coach podcast, the podcast with my wife and I. If you're on iTunes, please rate this podcast and leave a review and help get the word out. Again, thank you, Lead to Greatness Nation, for joining us on today. Looking forward to seeing you again on next week. Till then, remember, if you help others reach their greatest potential, together we can change the world. Peace. We out.